we are finding time in Sauti ya Busara na Ukweli. The voice is such an important thing that if some in this country, if you don't speak, sometimes you may never be heard. So today we are gonna look at diversity and the youth really speaking. And if they're speaking, what are they saying? Are they really being heard? The national politics, the drums already being beaten. The political questions have been formed. The answers are there. Now wenye maswali. What about the youths? Your host, Okuri Clinton, and on the bench today I have two amazing gentlemen. You can see well dressed in suits. This is amazing. To my far right, that is Ezra, the president, Great Star University. Karibu sana kiongozi.
Thank you.
You look sharp, man.
Thank you so
much. Kama huko unakula vizuri.
Kituka hiyo.
Kando yake, ladies and gentlemen, I have Wakili Njata. Wakili Njata is a familiar face to this studio and a serious political analyst in our show. Welcome kiongozi.
Asante sana.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
Mareu umeamua ni 3 piece na nyinyi ni kama mnakunya juice sana bwana. Niliona na ingine sasa ingine karibu, but I hope you are making yourself comfortable,
Thanks for hosting us.
Karibuni sana. This is Sauti ya Ukweli. Do you have voices? Do you think everyone knows a voice must be heard?
Of course.
Yeah. Mtu akizaliwa mara ya kwanza huwa anafanya nini, Mheshimiwa Ezra?
Anagongo kwa mgongo.
Anagongo ili alie.
Anagongo kwa mgongo ili alie.
Do we really need to beat some people in this country for them to cry?
You know the answer to that question.
Wow. Are the youth speaking, Wakili?
The youth, of course, are speaking. You can see from our political leaders, they are designing their campaigns in a fashion that is designed to attract us.
And attract the youth.
They attract the youth.
What is so funny with the youth? These are their voices, or rather their energy, or all combined?
Of course, we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Leaders of tomorrow.
Yes, and we are essential because the youth comprises of almost 60% of the electoral votes.
Yes.
So our voices must be heard in this election.
Kiongozi Ezra, people have always said we are the leaders of tomorrow. Such a cliche. The youth of late have been trying to deny that talk, that they want to be leaders of today. Do you think the youths are in a position to be the leaders of today and not tomorrow?
Yeah, you see, from the recent past, even including when it comes to youth management of funds, you realize that even our President Uhuru Kenyatta elected an old man to be in charge of the youth, to maintain the funds. And this has been a trend in the country. It has been a trend for so many years. And every time everybody stands up, he will claim the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, which is a cliche, as you say, because tomorrow never comes for the youth.
Yeah.
It is a promise of tomorrow, but the tomorrow never comes.
Never comes.
So I think it is about time the youths take a position and stand up to fight for their rights.
Wakili Njata, this time the youths take up. Why is it that youths are only called youths during political hair? Ikifika kwa sasa ndio unasikia youths. Lakini hizi miaka zingine youths wamepotea. Why is it that the youths are just youths when it comes to the electioneer period?
For a long time we have taken the youth for granted, and the youths have been they have taken a back seat in political discussions, but we are moving into a generation where we can see a revolution sprung, that is revolution coming up.
Yes.
Based on the inputs from the youths. If you saw in Sudan,
Yes.
in Sudan they were able to oust President al-Bashir.
Yeah.
It
They were
was a
tired.
lady. It was a lady, a university student, who was able to oust President al-Bashir. So the youth are becoming, they are becoming politically aware.
And that now brings me to the epitome of our discussion this day. the identification theory that we have around. Almost everyone wants to identify themselves with, and they come with slogans that the youths can easily identify themselves with. When a leader comes to the people and say, how watu wametunyanyasa sana, and is a leader. Today they've brought slogans like the Asla movement, the Azimio la Umo. What is your take on this? Let's check Mheshimiwa Ezra. The Asla movement. Does the youth really understand the Asla? What an Asla is? Or they're just following the crowd? What's your take on it?
You see, when we are dealing with politics in Kenya, or politicians for that matter, these are people who have, let me say, there is no one who lacks self-interest. Every one of them has the same thing behind the mind.
Yes.
But what happens to us is the lack of information. We claim to be related to a hustler because of what we have been told, but we don't understand where this thing is really coming from. When you tell me that you are a hustler and you are giving me a job, but you bring me a wheelbarrow, or you bring me a shovel, or you bring me an axe, but you're not equipping me mentally, you're not equipping me technically, you're not equipping me to be able to be a professional. If you look at the most developed countries in this whole world, you realize that what they have focused on is industrialization. What they have focused on is becoming more and more technologized in all way around. So tell me, Bwana Clinton, how would me riding a wheelbarrow help me become an industrialized individual?
Punguza your content. You come slowly, my brother. I can see Wakili here is burning. You're making grievous points, and they're so weighty. They're so weighty, and you're trying to insinuate that we can't. The Asla narrative is not really fit for our society. That's what you're trying to bring, and that is going to be a broad discussion today. Mheshimiwa Njati, even as you chip into this, on the other side of the coin, in the recent past we've had the Azimio la Umoja. Chimbuko la Azimio la Umoja inaweza kuwa ni nini na je? Is it really relevant? Is it really fit for our society?
Before I respond to your question, I cannot let that escape. Actually, the Hustler Nation is, or the Hustler tag is a relevant question to a political discussion.
Yes.
First, it introduces the economic revolution, which should be the third revolution, the third liberation of the Republic of Kenya. First, we dealt with democracy in the second liberation. Then now we are addressing poverty as a key aspect facing or bedeviling our country. I tend to differ with you on one aspect on the Hustler Nation. We are not saying the Hustler Nation and the wheelbarrow that we want to give graduates or our youths wheelbarrows. What we have done is used that symbol of a wheelbarrow as a sign of work. It is a symbol of work. It is a symbol of hard work. I know you can say it was used in the 19th, 18th, 17th century, but it was the first tool that was used in working. So for us, what we are saying, we want to promote and to make sure that our youth are now more engaged in work rather than demonstration.
Why could you, Mheshimiwa, just to cut you short on that, the symbolism,
but also
just on the symbolism of the wheelbarrow, why couldn't you use a jembe?
But also coming to your question on the Azimio la Umoja. The Azimio la Umoja is a good slogan.
Yes.
But imepitwa na wakati.
Yes.
Let me just say, for lack of a better word. It's now becoming a cliche. In this case, our country right now
doesn't fit the postmodern society.
Our country right now does not need that unity of sort, because it's about unity of politicians. Right now, we freely interact with Kisses, Luos, Kambais. That is a 21st century.
And do we need wheelbarrows vis-a-vis laptops?
But that's a symbol. We don't need unity right now. I don't think that's the first thing.
So we can engage in the economic revolution without being united.
If we get to the Mama Mboga, or just outside here, and ask a Mama Mboga what is their first problem, they will tell you taking their child to school, paying school fees, paying rent. Those are the problems affecting Kenyans right now, not how they are going to relate between them as neighbors. Because already they have coalesced. We are having networks of Luos, Kambas, friends, network of friends, and you know very well.
Now,
these people are dishonest.
Let me just break this down, gentlemen. We all live in this country. And you know, Mheshimiwa, you're trying to justify the identification theories and all that. But let me ask you this. Let me dwell with this Asla narrative before we just get to the Zilimila Moja. You have comrades that you take care of, and you handle a number of people. Would you mind painting for us the picture? These comrades, some of them really struggle, rather their parents, some of them even themselves. They really struggle to ensure that they become professionals at the end of their study. So somebody has gone for 4 years in his degree, or 6 or so. Then thereafter they graduate. I mean, it is a tedious work. You can paint for us the picture, some of the sacrifices that they got, that was mental stress and all that. But at the end of the day, they graduate. They become professionals. Then we subject professionals to the what is their take, what is their feeling, even as they chant that, as Mheshimiwa is trying to. Would you mind telling us what is their take on that?
Yeah, you see, when we are coming to the hustler nation narrative, the bottom-up economy and all that, there is only one thing that we are forgetting, because as Mheshimiwa has said, that the wheelbarrow is a sign of a symbol. It is a sign of work. It is a sign of a promise that at one point we will have work as youth. Because I haven't seen the wheelbarrow being given to an old woman. I haven't seen the wheelbarrow being given to an old mama there working or not even doing anything for that matter. So when we come now to the comrades, because these are the most people who politicians are so much interested in right now, you'll find that IEBC is in almost every institution being endorsed by a particular politician. Why? Because they're interested in these people. So coming to the hustler nation, taking up this particular approach, these people are really suffering throughout their campus life. And when they come outside, they are already professions. But one, there are no jobs. And that is the demand that we are having in the market. It is less compared to the supply that the market is giving. So what is the problem is us putting our trust and our hope, and another person out there putting his all energy into the hustler nation. Yet we have had this particular person in leadership for over 10 years, promising the same things, promising stadiums, promising laptops, promising jobs, but still it is the same case. So I want to know if there is anything new that the hustler nation is having.
Mheshimiwa Njata.
Yes.
There is hopelessness, according to the president's the way he's deconstructing this particular issue. The parents, some of them have organized for a ram race. Some of them have really sacrificed. They've used the wheelbarrows in town to take the children to school. Then later on, they see the children being given the same wheelbarrows. He's saying there is hopeless. Would you tell us how this brings hopefulness in place of hopelessness?
Clinton, I was once told that my people suffer because of lack of knowledge.
Give us the knowledge.
And one thing that is pricking me right now is that so many people are so disturbed in trying to relate the wheelbarrow in academics, to try and attack the hustler narrative. Let me enlighten you. The hustler narrative first encompass what we call the bottom-up economics. Okay? So, meaning that those jobless comrades that you are telling me right now, they have been in such a situation because from your own words, you have told us that the demand, the supply for jobs is less than the demand, isn't it? So what affects that? It is because we have, for a long time, we have been using an economic model that is now rotten, a top-down economic model, where we invest our resources, our capital resources, on a few companies, hoping that they will employ this young, educated youth. At least you are admitting to us that it is not working. Mm-hmm. So for us, we are giving you a certain, another new economic model. Uh-huh. A model where we now stop looking at bigger companies right now. Let me give you an example. If today we decided to invest 10 billion in Safaricom, probably they will employ 10,000 or 2,000 youth, isn't it? So how many youths graduate every year? Uh-huh. How many will be absorbed into the job market? Those educated youths, how many will be absorbed in the job market? Despite struggling and their parents organizing for harambes, selling cows, selling shambas, they will not be absorbed in the job market.
But Mashimo is saying that you've been there, the guy that is the Deputy President, William Ruto, so to speak, has been there for 10 years, and he has not brought these people to the job market.
And, there's nobody here who is a visitor in Jerusalem. We all live in Kenya.
Perhaps William Ruto is a visitor in the Kenyan speaking of.
We know, we understand very well as Kenyans that this country has been under the governance of William Samoei Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta for the last 5 years. The next 5 years, some foreign agents came into our administration and destroyed it. We had a clear plan that we sold to the Kenyan people in 2017. In 2013, we implemented 80% of our manifestos. We laid the foundation for the Republic of Kenya. Up to date, we started with roads. We have up to 11,000 kilometers of roads connected,
Mheshimiwa,
constructed.
The Jubilee scorecard is in the public domain.
Come on, I have been challenged to speak and to enumerate what we have done for the last 10 years.
Thank you. We are just coming to that.
So I need to answer.
We're just coming to that. We're just coming to that.
But be fair.
No, it's okay. I'm going to give you time to answer that. I'm going to give you time to that. But even as we get to that, Mheshimiwa Hezra, we can't distinguish Aslas and Huda. Huda is the Asla. They say Huda currently is the most popular political party. Huko kwenu comrades wanajua Huda kushinda any other party. What have they done? that are on the lead. William Ruto is on the lead with the agenda of bottom up. Everyone is speaking of it. If elections were held today, will Huda win? Based on popularity. Because all these identifications are based on popularity. Do you agree that Huda is the most popular political party as we speak today?
As we speak right now, if you have observed what is happening on the social media, what is happening on the news, you'll realize that UDA or UDA as you call it, it is a bit more popular. But that doesn't mean that the people of the country of Kenya, our mother country, are convinced that it is the right.
How many months to elections? How many months to elections? And UDA is popular. We are barely 12 months away.
The popularity for UDA, and I love my friend is gracious to admit that, is stemming from one fact. The fact that it is the only party that is critically addressing Kenyan issues. We have had a cabal of leaders led by the former Prime Minister trying to disturb our president, right, left and center, telling him to help them unite.
Thank you so much, our esteemed viewer, for staying with us. The break has been late. I can tell you behind the curtains, the discussions have been late. Unaona watu wamerudi na jovial faces, lakini kumekuwa kubaya kidogo. Let us get to the bottom of this. I have campaigned for Baba. I have campaigned for Uhuru Kenyatta. I took them up there. Saizi nataka kusaidia mama mboga na watu wataki. Did William Ruto campaign for Baba and Uhuru was campaigning for himself as the vice president?
Query, Clinton. I don't. Before I respond to your question, I really want to respond to my brother.
But handle this because in the next segment just handle.
Yes, I'm responding.
Yes.
Just in 1 minute, just 1 minute.
There you go.
UDA has not been dancing alone. Raila has been campaigning from the word go. Actually, Raila seems like a confused person. He has been running around the country telling us that, giving promises of what he will do for this country, and yet saying that he has not declared his interest for president.
When did he start?
Actually, we have had him since 2018. He has been going round and round the country, selling to Kenyans deceit, rubbish, as it was correctly said by the judges of the Court of Appeal.
In many circumstances that
a document that was meant to dismember
in many circumstances that Raila was coming out
constitutionality
to speak. I think Ruto was going to church just dissing out monies, and Raila was just responding.
Let me go back.
Are you calling that campaigns?
Let me go back to your question. William Ruto has for a long time been used by the so-called Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. And for those times, the two described him as an angel. Uhuru Kenyatta went ahead and described him as his brother.
Aliwasaidia aje? That is my question.
This guy, we understand now, obviously, nobody is new to Kenya. You're not from Jupiter that you have landed yesterday.
Kiongozi aliwasaidia aje?
You know very well the person who was the brainchild
I don't know.
of the 2017-2013 campaign. Did you see Uhuru Kenyatta campaign?
Uhuru Kenyatta campaigned.
Did you see him?
He campaigned.
How often? How often? How many counties did he visit?
It was your party. It was the Jubilee.
He didn't.
You're wearing uniforms.
His effort towards the Jubilee campaigns could not measure up the deputy president. But that notwithstanding, William Ruto has a character of loyalty. The two have mastered the art of deceit. It is like a game of musical chairs, where the two are perfecting this art of deceit.
Oh my.
And you understand very well that these two characters are continuing to perpetrate political deceit in the Republic of Kenya.
Speaking. No. I've given you a lot of airtime. Speaking of this political loyalty, speaking of the loyalty that William Ruto has really been loyal to the duo, Baba said recently, alisema Kibaki tosha, Baba. And during the Mashujaa, we heard him say that Kibaki should be celebrated as a Shujaa. And he has been the mountain. Baba has been climbing the mountain, saying that, he has been there for them. It is time to be... how are the cards? How is the political loyalty cards playing in the tribal lines?
Yeah, you see, on that note, my brother here mentioned something as we started. And he said that in our current Kenya, there is no point of us going for unity, because that is not the Kenya we live in. But that is the current problem that you're having, because if you look at the political climate in Kenya right now, everyone is focused on Mount Kenya. Everyone. And you wonder and you ask yourself, why are these people focused so much on Mount Kenya region?
And do you think Mount Kenya, do you really believe that Mount Kenya is the bedroom of the Kenyan politics? Because everyone is climbing the mountain.
That is where...
So what happened at Kirinyaga?
Because when you look at everything, if you say that it is not unity, that is the thing that we are focusing on, it means we already have a problem, because all the people that are standing up in terms of the presidential candidates, they are really trying to get to the Mount Kenya region. So when it comes to the point that we have on the table right now, it still brings a problem to us. It still brings that particular thing to the table, that Baba and Ruto, you see, the two of them working so hard towards the goal of each team. Working so hard to make sure that Kibaki tosha. Working so hard, as you're saying, that he made sure that he was so-called the angel, making sure Jubilee goes into the post. He was still there.
Do you really believe that Raila should be elected, or rather Ruto should be elected, because of their loyalty to their masters then? Is that a ground that we can say that, the Kikuyus here, this guy supported you? Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Mr. President, together with Baba, Ruto supported you. It is him now. Can we really vote on such grounds?
Voting on such grounds, it is a promise to doom.
It's a promise to doom.
Yes. Kenyans are supposed to take up their role. They are supposed to understand that voting, it is not based on a promise made by our forefathers. It is supposed to be voting based on the principles, based on what is right, because the government is for the people, by the people. It is not supposed to be from the roots and the ancestors who are there, so that we come to now selecting our leaders. It is supposed to be by the people.
Kiongozi, because we don't want to be doomed. We don't want to be doomed as a nation, as Kiongozi puts it. And it is real. I mean, we all agree to this. We shouldn't vote on such lines. What is so funny? What is so strange about Mount Kenya? Who are the billionaires? And who are the Wanjikus? Why Mount Kenya? Why are we not climbing? Why are we not swimming in the lakes in Kisumu? Why not traversing the eastern provinces and looking at the poor roads there? Why Mount Kenya?
Mount Kenya is central to the politics of the Republic of Kenya. One, because it is the only part of this country that has decided to shun tribalism, the politics of ethnicity, the politics of hate, the politics of deceit. Mount Kenya has demonstrated times without number that we do not want to entertain those politics once again. We have shown in Kiambaa by electing the first UDA member of parliament in a predominantly, or then known, Uhuru Kenyatta zone. It is in the same Mount Kenya that we can see voters opening their minds towards leadership and not voting on the basis of tribe. And that's the reason as to why Mount Kenya is key.
But recently, why have been
to the political discussion and to political leaders?
What recently? The youth in Mount Kenya are not registering as voters.
On the basis,
the people are rejecting to register as voting. What has happened?
On the basis, just wait.
No, just explain the point.
On the basis of voting, Mount Kenya voters will vote on the basis on two things: the economy, and second, the economy. Just that. Because what we are interested in is how we put food in our table.
Just a note on that particular thing. Just a note on that particular point. The people are focused on the economy. The people are focused on how we put food in our mouth, assuming so. How would you help this person grow if he's supposed to live from hand to mouth? How are they going to grow in terms of, we understand that a growing country is a saving country. The bottom-up economy, as you put it, it is an economy that is supposed to equip the young generation, to equip the young people into growing up in terms of financial stability.
Speaking of this growth, Kiongozi, and that is a very serious point. That
question.
Yeah, no, I am bringing you to that. I am bringing you to that, Kenny. Speaking of growth, we say that we are in liberation. The first liberation was at independence. The second liberation was at the dawn of a new constitution, the Constitution 2010. And currently we are eyeing for an economic revolution so that we may do what? We may grow. I've been your host, Okwiri Clinton, at Sauti ya Busara. Wisdom has been trickling. Now listen to wisdom. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like and share. Share this information with your friends. The wisdom has been poured out there. It is upon you to drink. Until next time, God bless you. God bless Kenya.